Are we like, oh, get on there. Okay. And that's right, recording in progress. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the GH Spotlight and recap here on JLJV. Like I said that 1,000 times at this point. I don't even know. Before that was GH Report. I don't know. I'm just GH. We are here.
It sounds great every time.
Well, Frank, you act okay. So, Frank Moran, you are the only person out of the original of all the hosts ever of the show that you have done this show continuously for 7 years.
What's wrong with me, right? Something wrong in here.
Yeah, I think so too. But we're happy to have it. So we're here today to talk about General Hospital, everything that happened in Port Charles. The chat room, like, yeah, come on in, folks. Come on in. Come on in. We're here. You're coming in. I'll do a church announcement while you're doing that. So Y&R. We released it today. My big like, Y&R. Thank you. Bye. Good night. No, we did a show this morning for Y&R. It is out. It's out. It's loud and proud. It's out there for you to listen to everywhere and watch. Also, Bold and Beautiful. Yes, my power went out. I was gone for a few minutes, but I did return. And we're back, and that's out now too. I just released it. Also, we're now on audio. Bold and Beautiful Spotlight now is an audio podcast. It wasn't like that for a while. I don't know why I didn't do it. But now it is. I know. Now you can get it on audio. It starts with the Sean Kanan episode. So you can watch that there. Oh. Speaking of Sean Kanan, my event with him on March 12th at 2 p.m. at the Grove at Barnes & Noble is happening. Be there or be square. There's going to be a reading of his book, The Way of the Cobra. I'm going to ask him crazy questions, and I host the event. So if you're at the Grove anytime this next 2 weeks, you go by the poster, you'll see my name in there. So you can take a picture, send it to me. I don't know, say hi. But come on down, join us. Come on down. We got a lot of stars are going to be there from all the soaps. They're going to be there, folks. So, and Tammy Govea and Amanda Russell coming too. My co-host, they're coming. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You get to meet me too. I'll probably have this fro. Like still Frank, then I don't know. I'm decided yet. So watch us. That's what?
As a beacon to everybody at the Grove.
Just keep follow the fro. Follow the fro. Hashtag follow the fro. That's right. So we will be there. So go ahead and we'll be there. That's on the 12th. So go ahead and go to barnesandnoble.com, the Grove, check that out. It's gonna be a funny event. Sean's great. When you meet him, you would love him. He's really nice. Also, I needed to mention see what else. Oh, Dishin Days today at 3 p.m. Dishin Days. There might be another face showing up at some part of the show.
Who would it be, James?
Some face, right? We might be showing up at some point.
Mark J. Freeman?
Yes, my name, Mark J. Freeman, a little darker. Yes, so yeah, I don't know. Some former host might be showing up. So check that out at 3 p.m. That's when they start. I won't be on the whole show, but just I'll be on there. So just check that out.
Oh, wait, it's you?
It's me, Frank. Surprise. I give tribute to the late Felice Sampler, who was a great voiceover anime artist after she left Days of Our Lives. So go ahead and watch that on there. And as I've been doing for every single show today, Frank and I do this show every week, and we do other shows. These are internationally shown. And the last couple of weeks, I've been really noticing how international our shows are. And it's funny. You guys come over here from all over the country, all over the world. People from South Africa, Australia, France, Germany, South America. And I appreciate it. I mean, you have many choices to watch, whatever you want. You guys come in and watch our shows at whatever time of day or night it is for you guys. We really appreciate it. And the reason why I'm saying this also is that I stand with the folks in the Ukraine. I feel really bad what's happening over there. It's really upsetting. And I'm calling it Kyiv because that's how they pronounce it in the Ukraine, not Kiev. That's what the Russians pronounce it. But I'm standing with them because we're lucky we can sit here and talk about this kind of stuff and not have to worry about that. But they're fighting for their lives. So I just think it's a sad thing. But just want to say for our international audience, we're all one world. I mean, think about it. We're all this medium of YouTube brings us all together every week, Frank. So I think it's just a nice thing to remember that it's not just America for us. We're in LA, but it's not just LA. It's all over the world.
No, that's true.
Very true. So I just want to say that. You know me. I always got to say. You always got to say something. You know me. I always got to say something.
The global citizens.
Yes, global citizens. But for them, I believe full balance going on over there. Okay, folks. You guys are already starting already in chat room. We're going to talk about it.
The birth certificate drama. Oh my god! Just kidding.
Frank, I'm gonna slap you. Slap you across the interwebs. I'm gonna find you and slap you. Exactly. Exactly. Yes. Okay. He's just. We'll talk about that later too. And how tired that storyline is. We'll talk about that later. But yes, Peter, for all intents and purposes, they say, is dead.
How happy are you, James? I know you've been wanting this to happen. Were you satisfied with how it was done?
No, James, calm down. I will not calm down. I'm excited. I am happy. I have been, as you guys know, if you guys have watched the show, you know I have been an open supporter, open detractor. Thank you, that's the word. Of the character of Peter. I have felt that the actor, which I don't talk about actors, but I'm sorry, I feel this person had no chemistry with his co-stars, chewed all the scenery till it was down to the nubs. And I think the writers didn't do the greatest thing either with him either. So I have been very happy to have this storyline, at least this part of line come to a close. Now I understand some of you think that he's a good actor, and that's fine. That's your bit. I'm not going to argue with you about that. And some of you guys like the storyline. One person last week said they liked it because it moved story along. So I get that. But for me, I was not a fan at all. I'm so glad that it is over for now, because I feel like Frank is right, that he's not dead and gone forever. I'm happy, Frank. The national nightmare is over. Yes, Simone Francois. Yes. But what I want to talk about, though, that's the byproduct of all this. There were some great performances, but there were also some moments that I had to laugh. Felicia. Let's start there, Frank.
She had those memories on the flight over, so she was easily able to conveniently run into Maxie out on the road. The soul car,
Frank,
conveniently come up. There's a lot of convenience in this wrap up.
It was so unbelievable that the moment Maxie runs out to the road, it's Felicia.
I don't. For me, I agree that there were some great performances within this, but I also feel it's like the idea of the story was good, the execution just didn't reach that level, which was unfortunate, because it's for like the big payoff of 3 or 4 years that you're with this character, you really want it to kind of hit the mark, and it just it did, and yet you can't completely hate it, because there are those nice moments of performances in there that hit, so you can't be like, this is garbage. But I was frustrated.
Yeah, true. They tried, Frank. I give points for this. They tried to do a big set. They tried to create a forest with a house. They really tried. So I'm not trying to be shady. Like, they really did try to do something that maybe 10, 15 years ago would have been outside somewhere, like an actual place. They actually tried to recreate that. But they agree with you, Frank. They agree with you. I'm actually okay, GH. Within the confines of COVID and all this going on, okay, they tried. So I wasn't even hard. Like I said, I wasn't hard on that at all. I like the aspect that they're all trying to come together. They're different parts. Everyone was trying to get there. Who get there first? But I laugh at Felicia because she finds Maxie. They drive, already crashed the car. I was just like, really? Felicia, that's what you're doing. Meanwhile, the other guy who was a bad guy, a double agent or whatever he was, is shooting at them. They're shooting at him. And it was all that was a little silly. All that was a little silly to me, kind of. It was like, okay. That guy was a cartoon villain, so I just didn't. I was like, okay, nothing there. But the payoffs, as we're saying, Maxie and her last, she was going to shoot her, kill her, and she was like, "Kill me." She didn't say that. I'm paraphrasing, but Kirsten Storms once again just really gives it her all. She gave it her all. Just once again, I think once again, her and Peter had that kind of final showdown that I think we needed to see on some level. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it felt like it needed to be a final showdown between Maxie and Peter, and yet this was just kind of it was there, but it wasn't great.
Even in the beginning, when she was like, let's go back to the beginning. When she was done playing Frank, she was done playing. She was like, okay, I'm done forgetting. I'm done trying to play. He was like, I was waiting for you to come out of it, I guess. So I guess he knew that she was faking it, I guess. I don't know what's going on. I was like,
yeah, I mean, because we had that one note of Peter when he finds out that Maxie was really behind keeping Louise from him for all this time. He's like, now she's gonna pay. So I mean, for him to be like, oh, you were putting on these false starts, like, wasn't Peter also kind of pretending? Because I thought, isn't he like motivated by revenge? Right. So I mean, why go? If you wanted to kill her, what was this whole elaborate thing? I mean, maybe it's still, it's one thing to say you're going to kill somebody that you thought was going to save you, and then when the moment comes, you still can't help yourself. But I felt like that was the inability of the show to kind of show anything within Peter. It was never once did he kind of question himself. It was always about whataboutisms, and it was what about everything everybody else did. And I felt like the show would have just given me a little bit more of Peter being a little introspective. I don't need him to get on the psychiatrist's couch to break it all down, but just a little moments of introspection where it's like, I want to kill you, but by God, I still love you, but I want to kill, just like anything would have been nice.
Yeah. They didn't do that. Although she needs him, runs out, this whole thing. I don't know that she...
But she doesn't grab the gun. The gun's right there.
I know she should grab the gun. They said in the chat room, why did she grab the gun?
And God love her. She gave her all into this performance, but a little more sense of urgency running out of that place. It was just kind of like, let me just go grab my coat and just, okay, I gotta go. I was like, you were running for your life.
Yes, you were a girl. So anyway, I was shocked that it was Felicia who knocks him out, leads to his death. I would have never guessed that in a million gajillion years. How do you feel about that? Should have been Valentine, should have been Anna. Like, I would have never guessed it was Felicia.
It is interesting, the lack of Valentine in this wrap-up.
Yes,
very interesting. And so, whether James Patrick Stewart had other things going on, so he couldn't be there at this time, who knows? But it felt, in and of aside, real life reasons for people maybe not being available for the storyline. It did seem odd that Valentine was removed from the ending of this.
I totally agree with that.
And I don't know. Having Felicia, I mean, I guess we've been wondering, like, hey, you brought her back and she's on contract, so you got to give her something good. But also, I don't know. There's part of me that's kind of like, he just fell down again. Sure, yes, he was hit with a tire iron. But it was just like, again, he just falls down something, and then he's, this time he's dead, as opposed to the stairs last time.
Yeah, I know. I think they're trying. I think they're trying to redeem Felicia as a mother.
Well, I mean, again, like we talked about last week too, it's like the only way to really redeem that is, we've got to see screen time of it happening.
Yeah, I agree.
It just can't be just name checked.
Nope, I agree. Valentine is telling something with Disney. Oh, okay. Meaning James Patrick Stewart. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So as Felicia gets the hit, he slides down wherever that thing is, and then here comes Anna. Shows up, and Drew and everybody shows up. Drew gets his moments too in there. Gets little punches in there, so to speak.
Yeah. It's just. I mean, even to back it up, the shootout at the cabin.
Oh yes.
was so kind of underwhelming, and just
I
Drew
agree.
throwing him like Drew making his move, and he's just basically just laying out there on the ground. Like, what? Not a great plan.
No.
And I don't know why the WSB agent, the rogue WSB
Yeah.
agent, and the crony of Victor's, I guess, that he was
Yeah.
working with, why they knew who would be shooting at them.
Yeah.
So why didn't they just leave? If they saw that Peter wasn't there, and that was the objective, was to get Peter. Okay, well, I'm not going to continue to engage firing with these guys. We're just going to sneak out the back the way we snuck in and just go. So that didn't play well for me either.
No, me either. Me too, neither.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt, there's a real well, I mean, I guess, Peter's never been the most physical,
No.
villain. I mean, we saw, heck, Finn got the drop on him. So and Jason can easily crush him. So Drew, Navy SEAL, I mean, physically matched against against Heinrich would not go well. But still, I feel like I wanted a little bit more drama. If you're gonna bring Drew or Dante, let's see some good old fashioned fisticuffs in there as well.
I agree.
Not to say that was that Peter could still have gotten away somehow. Still could have done it, but it would be more satisfying to see that as opposed to Drew standing over a dying man and go like, and you burned all your bridges and nobody cares about you. Okay. All right.
Yes. Well, the scene, I guess that did get me a little bit. I was like, okay, this is, I mean, the acting obviously on her part was the bomb. Finola Hughes knows how to pull it out. She does. We give her a storyline. She knows how to pull it out.
Agree. I mean, she made this scene. I mean,
did.
The great call of her saying, "I'll call an ambulance," and then coming back and saying, "Yeah, there's no ambulance coming." I mean, great.
I loved it. Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. And she held his hand at the end.
See, that's why, like, there's those moments in there, yes, that were great, and I just wish the execution of everything, of that had paid off, and it was.
I agree. I agree. It's just, but I get why she did. I get why Anna's having issues with this, because Anna's not a killer per se. She did what had to be done. She did what she had to be done, but I like that she's conflicted at the same time. She had to do what she had to do.
Well, I agree, because I mean, for as much as the storyline kind of bobbed and weaved in terms of, was she the mom? Is she just now the aunt? Regardless, even though she knows those memories were implanted in her, they still exist within her. So for her to, even though she knows it's not real, she still has those feelings, much like, Sonny and Mike, somebody that, has feelings that, they can't help but have. And, so even though you really despise this man, there's a memory of you that you have within you that's like, oh, wow, this is my son. And, and I'm deliberately letting him die.
I forgot about that. When she said, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that. That she just, she's just, that she thought it was her son. And it turned out to be her sister's son. And again, her sister died too. I guess I get it. I totally get why she was feeling the way she was feeling. But I get why she had to do what she had to do to save the world, basically.
Yeah, I just like when she says, just doing what's necessary.
I know. No, it was good. It was good. Well, Hughes can cry. Homegirl can cry. She knows how to do it. She know how to do it. There's a chapter that really felt for Anna. I do. But she knew what had to be done. And like she said, I really wanted to believe there was something good in you, but there isn't. There wasn't.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I guess as we talked about the writing for this character for Peter has never gave it a lot of nuance and never really kind of explored depths that could have been explored to make it a more well-rounded, fully fleshed out character, that an ending like this could have really paid off. And so, maybe they, I mean, nobody's going to be able to predict 4 years ago that we're going to end up in COVID. Nobody's going to, predict that how, for whatever reason that, the storylines were kind of maybe lengthened at times to keep Peter on the show and then truncated at times to get him off faster, which kind of changes stuff. But I felt like at the very least, you're still writing for a character, and so no matter how long he's going to be on the show, I feel like you have to do the character at least the justice of making him fully fleshed out, so that whenever the time comes that you do want to kill him off, and he's really done for now on the show, that it really lands, despite all the real life technical behind the scenes issues that might have played for how long and how little he was actually going to be on the show.
Yeah, I agree. I just, folks, Russ Ram's gonna be fine. He'll get a job somewhere else. I'm sure he'll be fine. I'm not as far as worried about him. I'm like, no, he'll be fine. And that's what actors do. Actors are usually nomadic people. They usually get a job, get another role, get a job. It's actually a blessing and a rare to get a job and be on it for years. That isn't always. There's a lot of actors who don't never get that. So he lucked out. He got a job he had for years. I think it was 5 years total, or 3 or 4 or 5, something like that. So he lucked out, and so trust me, he'll be fine. Life will go on. He'll be okay. No need to worry about him. But the character itself, I think, did run its course. In all seriousness, I think it ran its course. I mean, he's no Faison. You remember when Faison was on, they got old too for a while. Remember, I got old too, everybody. They had to run that course too.
No, that's true. I mean, because that's the reason why you didn't see him for a long time on General Hospital. Anna wasn't there as well too, so I mean that really didn't play into it. But even when Vanilla Hughes came back, Faison was not an ever-present kind of thing. He only showed up at a couple of times. I feel like we had more. I feel like Jerry Jacks for a while took the spot.
Yes.
Of Faison. It was a recurring bad guy. So, I think right now, I could, I joked with you on Twitter, but yeah, I could. Since the fact that we saw everybody walk away from that dead body for a while, there's plenty of built-in reasons within the show that if they wanted to bring him back in a couple of years,
they could.
Yeah,
they could. I know. I'm just Shady Sunday, folks. Shady Sunday. Jacarius, I completely agree with you. Okay. I think I've done enough time talking about that portion of the storyline because notes about now coming back to Port Charles. Because it was born, because it was an umbrella story. So everybody finding out. Everybody finding out. And there are various reactions, right?
Yeah. Please never, if anything happens in my life, please never send Sam to tell me about stuff. Boy, just like a wet blanket. Just like a wet blanket coming into a scene. It's just
Sam. Well, her and Elizabeth talk about very interesting storyline arc because they hated each other.
Yeah,
they were rivals for years. But I kind of like the fact that they're growing up a little bit, and like you said, Jake and Danny are brothers. They're Jason's sons, and they have each other's back. That was kind of cool. They have each other's back. I thought it was, Sam delivering news was dry as AF. Well, how do you play it? I don't know how you play it, but she had to tell them they were dead. I don't know. But I know it's the timing because Liz, it ties into what's going on with her. So she's telling her this as Liz has that envelope with the card in her hand, and flashback into all these weird things. And then Finn is trying to assist her in that. They have their own feelings about Peter being dead because he did kill Peter. He killed Franco. Peter killed Franco. So I set that whole thing off in motion. And Elizabeth tells Finn what's going on. So what do you think? Is it an identity? Is it a DID story? Is it somebody actually after her? Like, what do you think, Frank? I can't tell.
It seems like it makes the most sense for it to be disassociated identity disorder. I feel like it makes most sense to be that, at least the way that it's being kind of played off. But I'm at least thankful that she'd include Finn on this. As always, the great soap trope. It's like, well, we could really dive deeper into this. I got a patient.
I got a patient. Got patient.
There you go.
Got patient.
We just give you a little tease, like, okay, she told just a little bit about it, but before we can really figure anything out, he's got to go. So now we can just let this flounder for longer. So, yeah, I have to admit, I'm really not interested in the storyline at all. So, they've drawn out the intro of it for so long that I just find it annoying, and I mean, I'll wait and see if the show can surprise me, but
Right.
I'm not holding out much hope to sit here with you in the weeks to come and go like, you know what my favorite storyline is? That is the Liz. What's going on with Liz storyline? That's the man. That's aces.
Yes. Sam and Dante reunited too at the hospital.
Shut up and kiss me.
Kiss me.
Yeah. There's. I guess that must be the general note that everybody must be like told. It's like, guys, anytime you come into the general hospital set, make sure you sound like really either like accusatory or distressed whenever you encounter anybody. It's just like Dante, why are you here? Why are you here? Are you okay? Oh, all right. Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. There. And then Sam went to talk to Alexis. Yeah, filler out what's going on a little bit too. What's going on? Also other stuff, but we had Sam and Alexis talking.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, yeah, that's how I felt exactly. That's after Sean. Okay, so this is something on a side note. I'm kind of pissed. So Sean's leaving the show.
Yeah, that's incredibly disappointing. But given how this show is, with the large amount of cast that it has, it's not surprising. I know it's by his choice because he doesn't really dive deep to, but I think like the inclination was like, I know there really isn't much going on for me on this show, so I might as well go and explore other options.
Yeah,
sure, I understand that.
Right.
It's just like I feel like after he got the money from Nicholas and he decided to start the Invader, it all just kind of sputtered out for Sean.
I know. I don't get it.
Yeah, and there is storyline there for him.
There's total storyline there for him, and even when they were trying to even. Alexis, we have a lot of chemistry. And no, I'm a lesbian. I shouldn't say that, but that's what it seems like they're trying to do. They're really trying to sell us, Frank, her and Harmony.
Yeah.
Like, not even a triangle. Not even like Sean, Harmony. It's all like, we're good friends. We're good friends. Stay over there. We're good friends. We're okay. We're used to blah, blah. And even we had Sam co-sign on, well, say he's the happiest he's seen in a long time since Neil and blah, blah. I'm like, Sean's hot. I don't know why she was with it before. I'm like, why? But no, it's all about Harmony. That's what's about Harmony. I'm like, oh. So why bring him back? After all that fanfare, brought him back.
Yeah, and it felt like that scene between Alexis and Sean, when Sean's like, oh yeah, we've been able to kind of, reconnect and stuff. Like Sean was so off the mark about where Alexis was in terms of what the relationship could be. That's just weird. Okay.
She said, I haven't thought about it. I'm like, dang. He's like, you're lying, whatever. And she didn't even like, but Harmony, all of a sudden, she perks up when Harmony, do you care about me and Harmony? She asked one person in the city of Port Charles if they give a shit. I'm going to say it, a shit about her and Harmony. I'm going to jump off my building. I don't even live in the building. I'm on the first floor. I will jump out of here and just hurl myself across my yard. If I hear one more person, Frank, how do you feel about me and Harmony? I don't know. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Yeah. I don't know. Weird of me to be playing like some kind of devil's advocate for this, for sure.
Okay, Frank.
It seems weird to me. I don't know.
Me too.
As somebody, for somebody who wants to come out later in life or is wrestling with those kind of thoughts, do you feel like you need to get like validation from everybody that you know and love that this is okay to have these feelings now so late in life? I don't know. I don't even know if that's anything that the show wants to touch on or not. I hope they would, because I think that there's storyline potential for somebody who, kind of explores, themselves later in life and decides to make different choices about who they love. So maybe that's why she's there. We're getting these scenes. Not say I love them. I don't. But maybe that's why they exist.
Everybody says they'll catch me in the chat room. Thank you. I'm glad you'll catch my big boy. It'll be hard for you guys, but sure. I'll give you effort for trying to catch me. That'd be really.
I'll be a trampoline for you, James.
Yeah, they're right. Exactly. Oh my God. But that's the thing. I'm just saying that he's a great character, a fan favorite. Yes, Frank, you're right. It's a large cast, but I thought they seemingly, like you said, he brought back a lot of fanfare and story. So he had a lot of story for a while. You're right. Once he got the money, they just like petered out. I can say Peter. Yeah, it just that was it. And then this is the first time we've seen him in like weeks. I mean, I haven't seen him in a while. Like,
yeah, which ordinarily wouldn't throw me off because it is such a big cast that, especially for characters that are in smaller roles, kind of makes sense. That's like, oh yeah, maybe they're doing something off of their own career for a while, and then they came back because they don't have that much to do. But as soon as he said like, well, I would have to move to San Francisco just to make this work. I'm like, well, bye bye. That's why I had to go online just to confirm. Yep, he is indeed out.
Okay, let me say something. We already talked about the chatter. They're agreeing with you from those assessment. Okay, I'm the gay one of the group here. Okay, first of all, so I would say I have nothing against late life storylines of gay. I have nothing against gay storylines. Trust me, I'm gay. I wouldn't mean gay storylines. I'm just saying, I think some things is execution, as we also on the show, and things. I'm just saying that Alexis and Sean had something before, and it kind of led us to believe was going to happen again. And then obviously they changed that for this harmony side. I wouldn't mind a triangle, her trying to figure it out. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't mind. I mean, give me both. But it seemed like what some soaps do, they go very heavy-handed, and it's lopsided sometimes. They'll lead us two directions, but then they'll really try to show us like, Frank, this is the storyline you're supposed to root for. This is the one you're supposed to go for. They'll really push their point of view. Where I like a storyline where you leave it open for the audience to kind of decide and go, oh, I like them together. But I do see chemistry. You guys mentioned Days of Our Lives. Kevin Spearness is back on Days of Our Lives.
Oh, nice.
They made his character gay on the show, late in life gay. Him and Nancy Picadarbo, their characters. He came out of the closet. I think it's still dumb. That's another story. But anyway, I said I don't mind. It's fine. And they have him doing that. They also have a bisexual character on the show too. She goes back and forth. They have that, but it works for storyline. I'm just saying, this storyline, Sean has ties. He's TJ's father, for one, like real father or whatever. He has ties. There's TJ and Molly. There's Alexis. He's friends with Carly. He has ties. He actually has things there. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. I just feel like they're really heavy-handedly going, Alex, I was calling for moral support to see how you're doing. Like, it's just like they're not playing them to me just like friends. Yeah, they're made to be like friends. Frank, they're not just girlfriends; they're girlfriends. That's how they're playing them to me. Sorry, folks. I'm just saying that. I'm just like, it's just like I'm like, again, that's fine. If they want to go that direction and have two women, that's fine. I clearly have no problem with that. But I'm just saying, it's to me, Sean Butler was a popular character. If you don't want to use it with her, then spin him off somewhere else. There are plenty of people he can spin off to if you don't want to do it. I just say I think he's a well-liked character. I just say it's just kind of a shame to have him on for this little short time and then bye.
No, I mean, agreed. Especially if they wanted to play out a Alexis coming out storyline, having Sean there throughout a lot of it, because Sean representing kind of the safe choice.
Yeah.
And she's with him for a little while because she think that's what she should do. And have her then wrestling, like not being fully content in that choice. And why isn't she? And then
there you go.
Finally comes out.
There you go. I'd be down for all of that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying execution. It's just, to me, it's all about that. That's all. And writing. It's like, but they're really heavy-handedly making us go, no, look at Harmony Alexis. Look at Harmony Alexis. Everybody, look at Harmony Alexis. Look at her. And yes, some folks come out later in life. They do. Not everybody comes out of the closet. I mean, I was 18, 19 years old, and that was kind of late for me at some level. I already had kids already by then. So I'm just saying that people come out later. They do. Yes, Sean Top. Plays a Sean Top.
That she is. And then you've also got the new Jordan coming. So
New Jordan coming. So why not keep him for that?
Yeah.
Like, why not? There's plenty of possibility. Somebody said keeping Hat Daddy. Yeah, he's still on the show. When we started on that. We'll get to that later if I feel like it. Yes, but I just think it's interesting that they're, and again, and then leading that into the Harmony thing of she's going to end up lying. She's not going to. She's not going to tell Willow. Like, I don't even care. I wish I cared on some level. I just don't. I don't at all.
I already had my issues with the storyline, and her decision to kind of lie and prolong the revelation to Willow only made me dislike this even more, because it's like, well, this isn't going to work out, because eventually the truth's going to come out. This fake birth is not going to be able to pass muster. Then it's going to blow back on Harmony. She's going to have to go back to prison. So what's the whole point of this? Alexis is going to, how are you going to be able to defend her, Alexis? I don't know. It's like, why aren't we telling this
story? And I agree. And the thing is, what's crazy about this story is that everybody kept saying in other scenes, has Harmony really changed? Has Harmony really changed? And here she is going, you can help girl you forging birth certificates. I mean, like, so it's like, obviously Harmony hasn't changed, even though it's for the right reason, so to speak, in her mind. It was like, just tell her, I'm sorry, I kept it from you. It's going to be tough.
Yes, absolutely. And thank goodness the show really clued us in that these guys were bad people, because you had to give them the big wad of money wrapped up in a little sphere.
That wad of money was just like, I don't know, I'm like, it was as big as a wheel. It's like you could put on a car. It was that big.
So I don't know why. Not trying to be subtle about it at all. Just like, there you go. Here's a big wad of cash. I don't know, like, the day, I don't know, an envelope, is that, I think that's a little less conspicuous than just like, because no bank is giving you the money like that. You're getting it out of an ATM or wherever you're getting it from, and then you got to make the choice of just kind of rolling it up,
exactly,
rubber banding it. Like, this exactly is how I'm gonna get it. Like, come on.
So yes, so that's I didn't waste any more time on that storyline. That's just because we got that. But going back to the whole finding out, Drew made the rounds too, and eventually let them. No, was it Drew or Dante? I can't remember who was it who told them. It was Dante. Sorry, Dante. Dante made the rounds. He ended up telling Michael, Monica, and them that Peter's dead.
But I did like, just because we got to keep Willow involved. It's like, no, Willow, you don't have to leave. This includes you too. Like, does it though? Does it really? No.
It was like, should I go? I was a bye bitch. You can go.
Yeah. You can go.
Yeah.
So,
and then of course,
one more storyline of just Michael taking his drink and then just looking off.
And Monica's like, they trotted me out for this. Okay. When she's walking down the stairs, I'm thinking, Leslie Charles is going, really? I'm talking this bitch about he can't go to France, about a birth certificate, really?
Yeah, this is what you got me here for.
I'm like, girl, Leslie Charles deserves way better. Way better. Yeah.
There's some chance that it was. I mean, I could see you want Dante telling Michael, but I don't know why you couldn't have been Drew telling Monica. I mean, I feel like that would have been.
I agree.
A better way for Monica to find out.
But then Dante had to go see his dad.
All right, this drives me.
There's Nina over there.
This drives me bonkers, because there is the etiquette. All right, let's just break this out.
Bring it out. Okay.
Sonny has got his boy hanging out outside. His security guard. Yes. So here's how it breaks down: is that somebody comes up to the door, the security guard announces it. But what I like is that the security guard doesn't bother to find out who it is.
Right.
He just opens the door and just says, "Someone's here to see you." So, which I like is that you don't even know his own son. You don't know the man's own son.
That bugged me so much. That seriously bugged me so much. I'm like, that's his son. You've been around for a long time. You know it's your son. Why would you say your son's here? Why do you say who's asking? Who's like, wait, who's asking? Who's asking? And then you go, your son Dante's here. You forgot. It's just like, and so he's like, okay. Why would you say okay?
Someone's here. Okay. I would be asking, well, who is here? I don't want just someone.
Right.
Give me more specifics.
Why are you trying to get rid of me? Why do you want to talk? You don't want to talk about it? I'm your son. I'm your son, Dante. You don't want to talk about it? He wanted to say, no, I got a chick over here and I want to you bang or whatever over here. I'm tired of talking to you right now about some dead guy. You need to go.
What I like about that is that we've seen how terrible that is, the process of what happens when somebody comes to Sonny's door.
Yes.
The ineffective bodyguard who refuses to ask who anybody is. And then at the end of the episode, we see Carly and Drew going up. And rather than, we've already established how it's supposed to work, the protocol.
Right.
No, doesn't happen this time. He just stands there, just lets him walk by. I'm like, hold on.
Sonny inside, right? And her just walk around in.
Yeah. It's like, no. He's supposed to announce you. He's supposed to say some people are here to see you. No, you don't even, the show doesn't even stay. Yes, I know that they're married, of course, but You've already established that that's the protocol for a loved one of Sonny's, is that they get stopped and they get announced, and you don't even follow that, just so we can get that really great beat at the end of like, Nina is here with you. How dare you? Which bothers me to know. It's like this, because why didn't even Carly just call? I needed to go see Sonny in person because we have to have this scene of Carly coming in and seeing Nina at Sonny's place.
It made no sense. It was such a contrived scene. I agree with you. She was like, well, I'll go tell someone. Yeah, well, let you do it. You don't need to do it. There's no reason for you to do it whatsoever. And that's why I need to keep hanging around and don't leave. We can't. Don't leave. It's like it was on purpose. It took forever. Their scenes made no sense. It just took for this. She elongated so that Dante can come in, she can hide around the corner and not come out, so they don't see her. What, something going on here, Dad? What's going on? I'm like, you know what's going on, Dante? Nina's here. Yeah. And then we got Cardi coming at the door. I'm like, oh, again, execution, people. There are ways to make things happen, but again, do we need another Nina, Sonny, Carly scene? Do we need to get another one? Really? Like, really? It's established.
It's so frustrating, is that, and we've talked about this before, how we thought it was going to be much better back in Port Charles, but I feel like the show is just taking this storyline out of the knees, where it's now Nina's at the point where it's like, no, we can't be together at all, ever. Like, okay, great. Like, I think the whole reason we started the storyline is just like, hey, let's see Sonny and Nina together for a while and see what that's like. But this whole like, no, we can't do it now. Like, no, GH, you're really misreading the room. I don't need this drawn out. I just need it happening now, and then let's just move on to whatever's next. Because there's just no way that the show is going to be committed to a Sonny Nina combination for any length of time. No. So just dragging it out with like, oh, no, we can't. No, you're making this longer for no reason.
58 people are watching. Thank you so much. Everybody's just loving you, Frank, today for some reason. It's all praises for Frank. Sure. Shady Sunday. It's all praises to Frank. I don't really care about that. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Well, Frank all the time. So this actually leads to those two together, because he got to Keith, I'm going to drive. Like, okay, whatever. At Charlie's, she's a little chorus, shows up. I'm assuming it's because Phyllis is there, right? She wasn't there, but I'm assuming that's why they all keep showing up there. So he wants, and they go back home to his penthouse, and she stays. But they didn't sleep together. Didn't do nothing. I'm with you, Frank. It's almost like, again, like I said before, just have her go fuck. Excuse me. Well, but I would say Frank, but anyway. My point is that let her just decide, okay, I'm going for it, and just go for it. You're right, this back and forth is like, no, okay, we're done. I'm done with that now. Just like, you guys slept together once already. You're kissing here and there. Just go for it. She did bring up the drinking. I thought it was very interesting. Mixing with the pills. Right? I forgot she takes pills too. That was actually very interesting. That was interesting. I like that.
We're just becoming another Alexis. You're an alcoholic now. So
yes. That's what he said. When he said it, he goes, "You think I'm an alcoholic?" When she say, but I get the point of mixing your drinks with alcohol. Maybe mixing drinks. That's the point. Mixing your alcohol with your pills. Sometimes the right combination is good. Don't try this at home. I've done a Percocet and a Chardonnay, and it would work out for me. Anyway, but his type of pills, you have to watch the alcohol intake. And I kind of like this, but again, it's this thing of like, under the guise of this, that's why I'm sticking around. Let's have breakfast. I'll make breakfast. I want to see those eggs. I didn't see them. I want to see how good these eggs were, because I was like, okay, they're the best eggs you ever ate, bitch. Okay, I want to know what Sonny did in that kitchen to make them eggs that good.
And even he wasn't even thrilled with his performance on those eggs.
No, he wasn't. She's like, are you kidding me? Those are the best eggs of my entire life. Some shit like that, she said. I was like, what? Well, I like some eggs, trust me. But I don't, like, you can't do much with eggs, though, Frank. There's not much you can do with an egg.
Well, I feel like the hard part with this is that there's no way that Sonny's got a well-stocked kitchen.
Thank you.
I mean, he's hardly been at this place. He's been, boozing most of the time and hitting the bars. So there's really no way that he went through and said, like, oh, I got to make sure I have this in the kitchen.
Yes.
I mean, those eggs are old. They're old.
They probably were, right? I know. Hello. I think clean out my kitchen cabinets every once in a while because they go bad.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The thing that's killing me about the Sonny and Nina story is that it's like, I'm not buying Sonny's end of it anymore. Like,
oh, really?
Since he came back, the idea is that he's wrestling with these feelings that he's had as Mike towards Nina, plus Sonny trying to reclaim his old life. And the show, I feel like he's only really name check the Mike stuff. I mean, they've shown a little bit in terms of his how he handles some conflicts within the show. So you see a little bit of Mike coming in, but specifically Mike and Nina, he's done so much to kind of deny those feelings or squash them, and he mentions them here and there a bit, but he's never really kind of talked much about how he feels about Nina as Mike. And so it's always about, no, I get rid of these feelings, or I have these feelings, but I want to get rid of them. So by this point now in the storyline, I feel like the show has not really sold me that Sonny cares about Nina only more than just as a reason of, it's like, well, I got nothing going on, I might as well just mess around with you for a little while. So I don't know,
Frank. I'm completely opposite. I'm going to tell you why.
Lay it on me.
I'm not agreeing with Frank at all. Here's my thing. Here we go, kids. I was never a Sonny fan, folks. I was never really a Sonny fan. I tolerated him, whatever, fine. But Maurice Bernard, to me right now, I feel like he's having the best time of his life. Like, he's really enjoying this. I really feel like it's re-energized his performances for me. I like that he's torn. I'm sold. I am sold that he is torn, that he does love Carly, but he has feelings for Nina. I really am sold. I feel like it's the ladies are screwing it all up. I feel like if Nina just would go all in and say, okay, I'm going to take this opportunity and go all in, then you'd see fully the extent of Sonny's feelings. But I feel like Sonny's on the precipice, he's on the cusp of letting it all in because he's still conflicted with Carly. So I see Mike in there coming through. I feel like I'm seeing these layered performances I didn't see with Sonny before. When Maurice Bernard, I never saw layered. I saw layered performances when Morgan died. That's the only time I really think I feel like I saw that he really was like, he gave it his all. And he was some of the Alzheimer's stuff too, because that was part of his real life, I think, too. He came from there. But I feel like I don't know. I totally see that he seems happy to be working on here again. Like, he's been re-energized on this show, and I feel like, and I don't know Maurice Bernard, folks. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. I'm just saying my view of looking at this is, I was never a non-Sonny fan. I just was never a huge. Everybody praises him so much. I was never a huge fan of his, but I feel like now I like it. I just need Nina to go, yes, I'm all yours, and go full steam ahead. That's what I need. But I feel like I do see his confliction.
Interesting. I mean, I agree with you.
But folks are mixed with us. Some agree with you, some agree with me. It's kind of mix and mix. So they're going back and forth.
That's great. Which is, when soap's done well, you're gonna have people thinking, feeling different things about different storylines. Not that this is done well, but this is done. I mean, at least it's set up an interesting way for you to be able to read it. I'm frustrated, like as you with the Nina stuff. The show.
I think we have that in common. But we said it before too. Back and say, make her just go crazy. Make her go. Just stop with the back and forth with her side of things. That part we do. I know we agree on that. We've always agreed on that. I'm like, just go in. Just go in. Just go in. Yeah. I mean, just like, and then the repercussions can really happen when she accepts it and goes all in. And then maybe things won't turn out the way she hopes they do. That's the investment. That's what I'm saying. Should we have the second choice? Well, that's the whole point. Maybe she thinks she'll become first choice. Maybe that's the whole point. And her being let down, that's the whole point of the storyline. That's what I'm kind of going, that's what I want to see. I want to see more of that. Just like, go in.
No, it's much more interesting than like, no, you can't do this right now. And it's like, we keep circling around this again and again and again. And it's like, we gotta either, S or get off the pot, as they like to say.
Shauna says, well, Frank, you're a different breed. You're a hard skeptic.
I'm dead inside. I refuse, I can't relate to these human emotions.
And one day when Frank's late life coming out story happens,
that's right.
When he falls in love with me, I'm gonna go all in. I'm not gonna be wishy-washy. So we can't.
What do you mean when? It's already happened.
It's already happening, everybody. It's already happening. You can see it right here.
Next time I fall.
I love it. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, they're like half and half with you and I. So that's fine. That's obviously it's a good storyline, I guess. It's working out. I just think that the one thing I think you and I both agree on, I don't need another Sonny, Carly, Nina moment. I don't need any more of those. We totally get it. Nina, you hate Sonny. Carly, you hate Nina. Nina feels we get it already. I don't need another scene.
Yeah. And then we've got their Carly and Sonny's thing with their two divorce attorneys that, we've never really seen much of. So.
Right. Why who's this dude? And why is it not like Martin or like I said, Nora Buchanan or the other chick they brought in years ago? Why is this some new dude? I mean, no shade to him. Good for you, under Oslo, but like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. And then Sonny, I thought of you actually in the scene. She's giving you everything. She doesn't care. I just want the house. You can't have the house. I said, oh my God, Frank's gonna die when he hears that. I did think that. I'm like, but you can't have the house. I'm not out. That's when the kids are born. I mean, raised or whatever she said. I'm like, oh my God, she wants nothing from you but just the house, really.
Yeah. But also I thought, like, Carly, you've got your own house that you used to have with Jack.
Oh, that's right.
Like, what's that place doing?
Did she sell it?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I don't think so either. That's true. I forgot about that. She has a house. You just said now. I totally forgot about that. She has a house. That's so funny.
It's only because the show doesn't want to pull out that set again.
I guess not. No, they don't want to set again. I forgot. You're right. I totally forgot about that house. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, either way, he did give in after. He did give in. Obviously, it was like okay. But the funniest part, all that's whatever. The scene that made me chortle was Ava and Carly. The quote of the week, folks. Like everybody quoted it all week. We didn't stand behind the flavor of the month or me. As I outlasted all of them. She was so proud of that. And I looked at Ava. It was like, well, she's like, okay. I loved their whole exchange. I know it's so funny. Ava got her digs in. So after you did blah, 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 blah. But then in the end, it was very sweet and touching that they did change when Sonny was dead. And they have no reason to fight anymore. Not really. Avery does love Carly. I mean, there's no reason for them to fight. Anyway, that whole scene I love. What do you think about that scene?
No, I like it. I did like it. Because it plays into more of my bigger things with Carly, which I think we've talked about. Maybe other people share is that Carly's always got to be the winner of sorts
Yes.
in all this stuff. And so there's a lot of those Ava and Sonny and Carly scenes when it comes to like Avery. It's like, nope, sorry, Avery's already in bed. You blew it, Ava. You gotta get out of here. I was tired of those scenes, so I was glad for the dynamic to shift once Sonny was thought dead, and they had to figure it out. So for this, I liked it for the reason that you're saying. It's just that they may Ava, it's not gonna miss a moment to get some digs in on Carly.
Oh no, of course not.
History, but when it comes down to it, they both love Avery, and they want to both make sure that she's taken care of as best she can. So
yeah. No, folks, I say this every time. I know I said it every show. I'll never stop saying it. They're all bad. They all have horrible pasts. None of them should be parents. Think about it for a second. I even hate the name Donna Corinthos. I know it's named after somebody in real life. It just does nothing for me. They're all bad people. They're all bad people. None of them should be parents. It's like real life. That's how it is. So I have a hard time. I don't. That's one thing where I don't judge Ava and Carly. They both done bad things. But to me, they have shown they love the little kids. They have actually shown that. I don't think it's. I think yes, they've shown that.
Yeah,
so,
and I really do like the way that with Ava, that her losing Kiki, the way that she did, has really. I mean, that the show respects that, and just really has that as just a real way, a worldview that Ava has now when it comes to parents and their children. And I love it.
I agree, and that's what's played out with her friendship with Trina. It's played out with Avery and her and Carly. She learned from that.
Yes,
that's something
with Nicholas and Spencer.
Yeah, and Spencer, exactly.
Yeah, just that even that she's able to. I feel like Ava of old, the transgressions that Spencer made against her, she would be all about like.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yes. Even Frank, I was going to say, because this thing just kind of ties in on some weird way too, between her and I almost said Lisa, that's her real name, her and Olivia. Those scenes with Leo, because remember she killed Connie. That's the whole, and she kind of goes after our history. She goes, it's all about Leo. It's about the kids. I liked their scenes. I liked that whole little set. That was cute. Your Aunt Ava, I love that whole thing. I liked it.
Yeah, it's still tough though. It's still tough to think like you killed.
I know her cousin.
Killed my cousin. It's that one's. I just feel like it's tough to be like, well, hey, what's done is done, and let's just move on. I feel like that is just like the one thing that's hard to look over.
Yeah,
it's more like if you slept with somebody I knew, or you slept with my husband, okay, but you can't. You killed Connie. I mean, I feel like there's.
I guess it's a soap opera. It's okay.
Yeah.
But she did mention Julia and how she's like, Ned's a great guy. We know who's arguing with Ned being a father. I mean, he's a great guy, and I don't know. I like the scenes. I know it's just kind of like again on that whole realm of everybody's done bad, everybody's done wrong, but the kids come first. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point. And they are all related. They're all family. They're all related. So it's kind of like, Frank, that was so yesterday. They're making fun of your comment about that. Yeah, Frank, that was so yesterday. Yes,
of course. Of course. What are we worried about?
What are we worried about?
It's a little murder. It's a little murder when it comes to family. But it was one of those things that was unexpected but nice to have, because it also reminded me, yes, Ava is Leo's aunt, but we haven't really seen many other than when he was at the gallery and he took off.
Yeah, right.
Between those two characters, so it's like, oh yeah, they are related. Okay,
Me too. Yeah, we know her and Sam. They're all related. But it's funny that she even said that I'm not around that much. So I like they didn't ignore it. They were like, I'm not around him that much. And I'll tell you something. It's a little side note for me. I have a nephew that I'm not around very much either, because I don't really care for his mother, my sister. I had no problem telling that story. But I feel bad because I'm not around him that much. And I'm like, well, maybe one day when he gets a little older, maybe we'll be around each other. But it's one of those things where it's just being honest that not all families are close. That's the point. Families, they for whatever reason, they said that the adults separate. They're not around each other. And, and then at some point, maybe you come together. I learned I had a sister when I was like 27 years old. we became close. I didn't know her growing up, and we became close. I mean, things like that happen. You know, it's just kind of family dynamics are weird. They just happen.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not Uncle James's kid. I wish I was at some level, but maybe one day I will be. So I mean, I kind of relate a little bit to some of this story in real life, in REAL life, not REEL life.
Somebody's real life is a soap opera.
What is my life a soap opera, kids? The James Lott Jr. show, starring James Lott Jr. That's what that is. Frank, don't watch Days of Our Lives if that's how you feel. Okay.
Thankfully, I don't. So
he doesn't. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, I will bring this little short little because you brought up it because I don't even want to talk about it that much. It's going to make me upset. Sasha meets up with Sienna, G-Back, and gets drugs. She's going on a trip with Brando. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that it took this long because it really seemed like the show was heading towards that much sooner. So to get this reveal, okay. Yeah, I don't know. You know,
Frank, I'm not saying that I'm an expert on drugs or anything. What I'm saying is, I don't remember any of my friends who happen to maybe do drugs. So when they first see me, I haven't seen you in a long time. Do you need anything? Do you need anything? I've never had that experience in my life. It was always like, how are you doing? How's life? You talk for a while. Maybe you get out somewhere. Maybe something happens. You're offered something. But I was never just like off the bat. So if you need anything, I'm here. I know you're busy, but if you need anything to take, I'm like, girl, go do your job. That's your waitress, whatever. Go do your job. Like I never had anybody in real life push drugs so hard on me. I'm like, hello, girl, dang.
Well, if you ever need to pick me up, I don't know. I'm trying to think in the real world. It's like when you have. I mean, she is one of the most well-known, the face of deception.
Yes.
People. So even if you're not around her every day, just being dialed into the pop culture of Port Charles and the world at large, you would know what's happened to Sasha in terms of that she, had an overdose. She's gone through rehab. She did a big interview revealing all that stuff. So I feel like you would kind of know. You might not know all the fine details, but the overall arc. So to just come in there, like you're saying, it's like, oh, hey, if you need to pick me up, no, I'm sober, thank you. If you're not around her.
I'm so over this part of the story. I'm like, that's all I want to talk about. I don't want to talk anymore. That's make me angry. It's so predictable. It's stupid. Even though her sister did a good job, she's beautiful. Sophia Madsen's beautiful. I'm gonna give that part out there too. I think this made me laugh. I want to mention something funny because we've been talking crap about what we didn't like. This made me laugh. Esme and Laura. I chuckled so hard. Laura was like, "No, bitch, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this. No, I'm talking about this." It was, oh my God. She didn't suffer fools lightly. Laura's like, "No, it's because the nail polish." No, it's more than that, bitch. Just want to tell her it's more than. And she's it's your disrespect. Just read her. She took the book, Frank, and was like, "Let's see, and this and
yes.
This and Esme tried every turn to put it on, and Laura was not buying it. I loved it.
No, it was great. It's like, oh well, let it roll. It's like, no. It's not that. It is about you just a blatant disrespect for people around you. What do you think? And do you think Esme went to Kelly's with a genuine interest in trying to mend fences and then was shut down? Did she have that moment of like, I'm going to try this, and it failed so miserably? She said, "F it. Why was I even thinking that? I got to stick to what I know best, and that's just being a devious lady."
She's being devious. It's all a plan. She don't care. It's all a plan. I tried to be friends with him. That's all. I'm on Josh's side. Sorry, Trina. Josh reads her. Josh knows what's going on. She is, and Trina knows what's going on too, but she's just like, she's fighting it a little bit. She knows this Esme chick is not good. Esme is it's all fake. It's all phony. This whole coming to Jesus meeting with Flora. It was all phony. Okay, unless I'm gonna go over here and apologize. No, but you don't care. You don't care about what Laura said. You're just trying to get to the next thing. When she cornered about Ryan, she's trying to play it off too. I'm just trying to learn about stuff in my class. Whatever, bitch. Joss got it. Jocelyn knows exactly where Esme's coming from. She is not sorry. She's like, come on. But she did run her mouth a little too much. She was like, I'm right here. I'm right here. I was like, yeah, Joss. I mean, I know you're your friend, but let her like, drop. But see, Trina, to me, I know a lot of folks are going to disagree with me, and that's fine, whatever. It's the first time. Everybody's defending Trina online, and she's just talking over like, your friends get overzealous. They're on your side. She has her back. That's what it is. But I think Trina's being too passive because she's a little afraid on some level not to rock the boat. Her man gave you a book. It's a Valentine's Day gift. It was very thoughtful. That's it. Joss was correct. And we know it made you upset, Esme. Come on, girl. Come on. Like, come on.
Which I will not disagree with any of that. My only thought is, like, this is one of the scenes where I really could say, like, oh yeah, Jocelyn is Carly's daughter.
Oh, totally. Oh, completely. Oh, completely.
Because there are times where Carly, especially with this whole Nina crap, where at least the scenes that are written, like Carly is her own worst enemy. That if she would just be quiet for a second, things would have come out.
Yes, I agree.
So for this, I felt like, was Esme having a moment of like, maybe I will try the upper road. This is so against everything that I do. I will try it. And if Jocelyn had just like dialed back instead of being on the attack as much as she was, Esme would have done everything. So is Jocelyn her own worst enemy in this case? I don't know. Who knows? Esme, this could be a thing, but at least I thought it was like, all right, that's a Carly's daughter move where you just you don't know when to stop and you've gone too far, and there was a chance where things could have gone a different route, but you ensured that no, this person's going to just stick to what they do because you just kind of went in on them.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes. You told this in confidence to her, but you know what? It wasn't a malicious thing. It wasn't like Josh was trying to people in the chat room, not chat room. Sorry, chat room. On the public eye, we're like, it's she just overstepped. Yes, she overstepped. That's what friends do sometimes. Remember, he's a kid. They're like 18, 19 years old, or however old they are. They're young, and you get overzealous, and you literally are this. You see your friend being played by this chick, like you're trying to hold it down for her. So I always say I defend Jocelyn because it came from a place of girl power. Girls. These soap operas don't have women friendships all the time. They're all about women against each other. This is a case where she really does love Trina, and she was really trying to look out for her. And Trina, I'm sorry, is being a little meek. She's like, she doesn't want to cause any problems, doesn't want to do anything. And the book was something serious, and Trina knows it. And she doesn't want to rock the boat. She doesn't want to rock the boat with Esme. She doesn't want to poke the lion, so to speak. Because I'll give you points, folks. This chick who plays Esme is really good. She's really got to get to her. She's good. I don't like her. I mean, as a character. The chick's fine, but I'm like, yeah. And then she takes the phone covers and switches the phone covers, and I'm like, so I mean, Esme's not good, Frank. Esme's not good.
No. I mean, I somehow it seems like she wants to switch out Trina's phone.
Yes.
Which I don't know. I really have no idea what the plan for this is. So she wants to switch out Trina's phone. So then all of a sudden now, like, how's Trina going to get into that phone? Because she's not going to know the passcode, and it's not going to be facially set up to recognize her. So how's she getting into this phone? But two, I think she noticed pretty quickly that none of her contacts or anything are in there. So I don't know. I think you'd find out pretty quickly if a phone is not your own and been swapped out for somebody else's.
I think so too, right? I know. Yeah. So I'm just like, but anyway, I guess we'll see how it. But the actress, and I like her. I mean, I like that she is creepy enough to play this character creepy, but again, she is not good. There's all fake, Frank. Don't fall for it. Do not. I will be Jocelyn for you, and I will overstep. No, Frank, do not believe this bitch.
Well, it's sisters before misters. Don't forget.
Thank you, Frank. Don't you forget it. That's what Josh was trying to do. But her and Trina got into a little fight, and that's natural. It's natural. Be friends with them. It's natural.
No. I mean, it's just I don't think it was ever like we're not friends, but it was just like you're irritated with your friend, in
Yeah,
that moment. It's like,
that
whoa, whoa,
happens.
whoa. Think about what you said, and
Yeah,
you'll understand why I'm irritated with you.
yeah. Because Trina was like, "Hello, I'm here." I mean, I did get that part. I was like, "That's kind of." But again, Joss was not coming from a bad place. So Mona Wallace says, "I learned in the Scream movies that phones can be cloned."
Well,
Right?
okay, all right. I mean, I guess Esme could be all about cloning that phone. We'll see. But I still don't understand the point of it though, because I mean that the phone she wants to switch it out with has the sex tape of Cameron and Joss. So is the idea to make it seem like Trina is the one that videotaped them and released it
Probably.
somehow? But like that doesn't make sense either because she was, in a room locked away for a while. So I really don't understand Esme's plan, and I don't understand how she wants it to kind of fall out on Trina. I don't get it yet.
I know.
And I feel
Another.
like if she's thinking that Jocelyn's going to buy whatever the setup is supposed to be against Trina, then I think she's mistaken because Jocelyn's not going to fall for that.
Another storyline point that bugs the crap out of me. We're seeing new people now. Good for them, getting some jobs. Carly has an assistant, sure. But Laura's assistant, what is her name?
Oh, the assistant, isn't it like the assistant mayor or whatever, or deputy
Something
mayor?
in cahoots with Victor, of course. And
Yes.
looking nervous too. Yeah, I got to check on this thing. I'm like, girl, you'll give some away. Yes. You're like, whatever. I mean, like,
there's part of me that chose to read that scene where Laura finally notices her just standing in the background for
yes.
a really long time and
Yes.
sends her away. That Laura's starting to wise up, like, hey, hold on. Something doesn't seem right about this lady.
Laura's not dumb, folks. And that's why I love when she meets other people. I was like, something's going on. Like, I love her, Deputy Mayor, thank you. I love her, I love when her and Roberts and Anna are all together kind of talking. It's like the old guard together talking over stuff. And they're trying to piece it together. Laura, and she's right. We have the heat wave, folks, that's happening right now. It's still happening, folks. It's hot. It's hot out there. The Ice Princess has been stolen. This other dude, Johan, look at Johan now, look at him. He was near where Luke supposedly died or whatever in the accident. Laura's putting that together. Meanwhile, Robert and they're all kind of piecing. Victor is up to something. They all know it. Laura's not dumb. She knows it. She knows it.
Yeah.
She knows it. And she's trying to warn Spencer. He ain't listening. Nicholas trying to warn Spencer. He ain't listening. It's just like it's Laura's not dumb. She knows what's going on.
I do feel like we gotta please let's get this moving into the next gear because I really can't see any more scenes of people like it is so hot. It's unusually hot. Yes. So unusually hot here. I'm tired of those scenes already. Guys, we got it. You got it. It's warm. Cool. Let's just get to what that means.
It's hot.
But thank goodness Sam was on the case with that photograph.
Also, celebrating the death. I had tried to chuckle. This made me chuckle also. Liesel, and then when they find out where's your alcohol? The credenza on the left. Okay, that's right, Britt. And the credenza on the left, and passing out booze to everybody. That made me laugh. I was like, that made me laugh.
That
made me laugh.
Yeah, like even Robert was like, "Why? Why are you here?"
Okay. I love Robert. I love Tristan Rogers. He's hilarious.
No, I mean that scene between him and Anna, I thought was great.
Oh yes, history. So talk about the history with these two characters first of all, and these two actors.
Yeah.
And Tristan always just shows what a good actor he really is. He doesn't get a lot of screen time, as you know. It was fun watching him with your buddy Mac in the wheelchair running all around. I was like, that stuff was all fun. But Anna and Laura too is like, you could have told me what was going on. Like there's history in there. There's history in the Nar Hills. Anna and him just have this natural chemistry where I don't want them back together or anything like that. I mean, they were former marrieds and stuff, but like you could tell they have a deep, abiding friendship. that he just accepts Anna for who she is, and it's just kind of like, stop beating yourself up. Like he's like the voice of reason. So I like to bring her back down. Like, this is life. We do things sometimes we have to do. You know what I mean? I love that. I just love that he can make her laugh. When he said, you would anybody, just not Valentine, and made her laugh. That was cute. Anytime they're together, it just makes me happy. They can look at each other. When he said, I get a key to the city for you, she was like, no, just freaking out. The key to the city, freaking out. I'm not a hero, blah, blah. And he was just like, what is going on? And then like they calmed her down, and I love them together. I love them together.
Yeah, can't get enough. By the same token, though, the Mac and Felicia stuff, it was, they're really hitting hard that like Felicia is like, I don't regret what I did at all. I know. And yeah, absolutely. Yeah, which is fine. But I also felt like I thought of that scene when Felicia takes back to the hospital room and she had to be her big declaration. I don't regret a single thing I did. Does that make me terrible? But I also want to like, yes, I can understand you not regretting your actions, but you can also have that moment of you're like, but I also killed a person. Regardless of how good or bad this person was or how terrible he was, it's still a human life I took. You're allowed to feel that about that. And I felt like that seems weird that we're not even giving her that moment of vulnerability for Mac to be there for her. It's like, no, you're not a monster.
Right. They're not even playing it that way. So they're just like, okay. And so she likes to be the hero, so to speak. She's like, yeah, it's me. But I feel like they're trying to play up that she's always person who's always on the run, adventures, the whole thing, right? It's always an adventurer. And so this is probably she understands what had to be done. She had to save her daughter. It had to be done. So she's just like on that tip, like, yeah, okay. Where Anna's feeling the whole weight of it all. And so I'm like, okay. So but it's showing Felicia. They're showing Felicia, which I'm shocked.
Would you ever want them to recast Frisco?
People brought up Frisco a lot. He's busy on my other show, When Calls the Heart, that starts this Sunday at Saturday or Sunday? Sunday at 6 p.m. on Hallmark Channel, When Calls the Heart. He plays Bill Avery over there. Some people in the chat room early on were mentioning possible Friscos. Do we need them really? I mean, if we can't get Jack Wagner, I don't want Frisco. I mean, I was like, you could recast him, but I mean, do we really need him if you're not going to? Again, like I said last week, don't bring anybody else on unless you're going to use them, unless it's a widely known short-term role. Like they go, this person's coming on for a couple of episodes, that's fine. But if you just bring them on and we're expecting them to be on for a while, and they're not, I don't want that. So I don't know. I just think Frisco has not been a father to her ever, really. So I mean, no.
I mean, if the show was interested in really diving deep into the Joneses family history, it was really going to give it the time to kind of work out all these storylines. Because there are things to explore between Maxie, Esme and Frisco, Felicia and Frisco, Mac orbiting around this, the man who raised his children. So there is lots of story in there, but I don't think the show, even with having Felicia on contract, would be wanting to go down that road.
Well, I want more Mac first. Where you get to screw Frisco. I mean, Mac's been on the show this whole time. Let's get more Mac.
Yeah.
Let's get more of him. When he got out of the wheelchair to hug her, I love that scene. It was cute. I love that scene. I thought it was a great scene. When everybody was clapping. That was awkward.
And even Ed Stella was in there for a while. So
I know. Where'd she come from? Everybody clapping. Anna not feeling it. But Felicia's like, thank you. I don't know. I just think I want more Mac. I want more Mac and Robert first, and then bring in somebody. Maybe they won't bring anybody else in. I feel like we have people who are being neglected now before we bring somebody else in. I think yes, Frisco's director at WSB. I'm just saying. I mean, there's story for him. We're saying there's story for him, but don't bring him on. Don't do a Jackie Templeton. Maybe don't do that again. Where you bring him off a fanfare, and then all of a sudden, nothing.
Oof, that At least I was not thrilled with what they did with Paul when they brought him. I was fine with the recast, but what they did to that character was just such a disservice that that just happened with Jackie, where another big name that just was cast aside. Gregory Harrison, big name, kind of just cast aside. So yeah, I agree. There's not a great precedent set with bringing back older characters and giving them any sort of good stuff to do.
Just mentioning this because it's already been an hour and a half, and I want to talk this last storyline. It's really big. I want to talk about. Just mentioning, we saw Marshall with the hat and Curtis working out of the gym, and then Drew coming in, and Curtis still has suspicions that something's going on, and Marshall almost gives away. You survived Sonny Corinthos. I don't know survive Sonny Corinthos, and I don't. You should get to know him. Nah, I don't get to know him. And as he leaves, get my number from Curtis. Like he's like, what? So that's all awkward and weird. So I don't know what's going
on. Yeah, I mean, I guess the big thing is like we have to get Marshall to write down information on a job application or a W-2 form, and then we have something to track down. Great, it's a great paperwork storyline, which I'm excited about. So, I don't know.
That's for you, Frank. I'm not excited about it. It's all for you.
Yeah,
say that tongue in cheek. I know, but yes.
We've got the Peter August storyline kind of put to bed for a couple of years. Let's focus on get this Marshall storyline just really kind of revved up because it needs to be done sooner rather than later.
It needs to be done.
Yeah.
The last part is right.
Oh, and we have the last thing I think too is just to touch on the Maxi.
That's what I'm saying. That's next. I was going to say we're on the same page. I was going to say. And the last thing we're going to talk about, of course, I saved it to last on purpose, was the last component of all of this is that it's little Bailey Louise. This was the latest. Everything else was all this, but now it's the actual exchange time. And I got to say, I cried like a baby. Oh my God, I cried. I had the ugly Oprah cry. I cried like a baby during this. I did. I thought from Ned, I love Ned being there. I love that he was there. They've been utilizing him a lot more on this show than Days of Our Lives, actually. How funny. It goes back, I was back and forth. Glad that he was being utilized. Him and Chase's talk was good. Him and her talk was good. Him and Maxi's talk was good. I loved all of it. This is not an easy thing. It was like Maxi said, come back in and get it. They acknowledge that Brooklyn's the only mother this child has known. And James and Frank thinking like, yikes. It happens every once in a while. And anyways, I just thought every beat of this was played very well for me. I just for me, it was even when she said you should be called Bailey Louise because you also are, Ludo's my friend, so are you. The story arc of those two becoming friends, and also saying you could be Mama Brooklyn. I cried. I hook, line, and sinker. I was like, oh my God. And then when she left, and Brooklyn just gives this kind of like wail, it's just like, oh my goodness. I was like, yeah, I was sold. The whole thing was played very nicely and beautifully and realistically. I thought it was just why that was anyway. So your turn.
No, I agree with it as well. I mean, I'm glad we got earlier. We got to see the kiss between Brooklyn and Chase finally.
Yes.
Just over the vending machine in the bag of potato chips.
That's right. As that happens, Frank, sometimes a bag of potato, and they drop the chips all over the floor.
Yeah. Oops.
It's a chance.
And even having Ned being there to Brooklyn saying, you don't need to be here because you're just going to cry. And he's just like, it's all right. I'll stick around. Just love. It is always great to see. That's why I also love it too, like with Tracy and just kind of those quarterback characters where, they're tough, they're hard, they play by those quarterback rules, but you give them a moment to feel genuine vulnerability and loss. And it is great to just see those bits of feelings and emotions come out of the tough quarterman exterior.
when they say our girl, I love when they say that. Our girl. I love that. I really do. I think it's such a this child will be it'll be wonderful. And I think Brooklyn, and I mean, if Lulu comes back, it will be a shock to her, obviously, because they're close friends. But I feel like they really did show us from beginning to end where they are. And it for me, it hit all the notes. I mean, and again, two actresses who can act, and we know that Wally Kurth can act. We know that, and Chase, he can act. I mean, they all can act. I mean, it's just, but it was such a beautiful. It was just a beautiful moment. I thought it was just kind of sitting down, like being worried a little bit, and thinking, well, I wrote down this book of all this stuff, so I cried then too. But I wrote this book of all this stuff that you can read. I mean, it was just. I mean, Bailey really changed the life of Brooklyn. We really grew her up.
Yes.
Even when she had those scenes 2 weeks ago with Valentine saying she was so sorry, you could tell she was really sorry about that part. And even they were like a family. Valentine, we're like a family. They really were. So my question to everybody is going to be: he has no daddy. So does Chase kind of stay the father, or does Valentine become a father? I mean, like kind of like a father figure. I wonder. She has two mother figures, which yes, I know it's fine. I was saying there's men who are involved. Before you start sending me letters or whatever, but saying there are men who are involved as a father to this child. They could totally continue that on some level, I think.
I would love to see it because I'm really curious about seeing the next time we see Valentine run into Maxine with Bailey. I feel like that's a scene that I want to see coming, where we all know what the real deal is in terms of who's Bailey's real mother, but see that conversation between Maxine and Valentine.
Yeah. That'd be a good one. Yeah.
Because we've had it from Brooklyn about how she probably being unapologetic to Valentine, but I really want to see a conversation between Maxine and Valentine about that.
True, I guess that's a good one. People want Chase to be with the horrible person like PLQ. No, she's not horrible anymore. She's actually changing. Here's the thing about Brooklyn. I would say you guys all talk crap about her. But here's my thing about Brooklyn. Brooklyn actually owns up to who she's a quartermain. Quartermains know who they are. That's the only thing about quartermains. They know all parts of who they are. They're unapologetic. That's the thing. But they do feel like you said, they do feel sometimes. Tracy knows who she is. Ned knows who he is. And they all know, Monica knows who they all know who they are. That's why I like them. Because they're not phony. They're not phony at all. They say what's on their mind. They're there for each other. They've established that. And I don't think Brooklyn's a horrible person. I really don't think so. I think she was a brat and entitled and all that. But I feel like she's grown since then. And they've been showing on the air how she's always been just like growing from that. I think, Frank, I don't people are saying that chat room, like, no, I think she's actually growing.
I would agree. I mean, the Bailey, the Brooklyn that we see now at the end of this storyline is far different than the Brooklyn we got that was, making her way out of Port Charles when she was having a pregnancy test.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think actually she has. They really shown us. See, again, execution. They have shown us how much she has evolved. Frank and I don't want much. We really don't, folks. We don't. We just want things to make sense. Show it on screen. That's all we want, basically. And when they do it, I think it's great. We've seen Brooklyn change. Yes, we got the whole chase her and Chase being chased and not kissing him at first. That got going after a while. But I'm just saying, but the rest of the storyline, she had an agenda at first, completely had an agenda, and then it became love. She loves that little girl, folks. I believe it with all my heart that she does. That it really, and her and Maxie really become friends. They became friends.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, and that's just what you want to see, that attention shown to every character. You can't just tell us that. You've got to show us. You can't tell us that Maxie is like forgiven Felicia about being, kind of an absent mother. We need to see it. So people in the
chat room talk about Shady Sunday. You guys are really unforgiving. God bless America. She's only done one good deed to start out selling. It's like, oh my God, that's the point. I'm like, can people change?
And this is not to say that Brooklyn is going to be like some kind of, angelic figure going forward. Not at all. She's also a quartermain. She's going to make questionable choices in her life.
Oh,
for sure.
Of course.
But this makes her so much more well-rounded.
Thank you. Yes, folks. Elizabeth was a snotty brat teenager. She came on, folks. Thank you, Dolores, for bringing that out. So she can't change over the years, or like, I mean, I don't know. I think you got me. I know I'm shady, but you guys are shadier than I am. Shit, like, dang, folks, you don't give nobody.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like ultimately all you want is these characters to kind of grow and evolve.
Yes,
and the choices that they make within a story make sense given who they are.
Yes,
that's all we can ask for. It's only when the show tries to plot hammer something and make characters act stupid that it just gets frustrating.
Yeah. Well, Brooklyn have Doug Bailey. I don't think so. I don't think they're doing that. I think Maxie is going to completely rely on Brooklyn a little bit because it's going to be new. So I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't want it to be like, hey, you're Mama Bailey, and then we never see anything of Brooklyn with Bailey ever again. Like it all happened off camera. Like no. Let's see a little bit of it.
Because they do show where when they trot out Donna and Avery, how Avery does love Carly. They do show it sometimes. So we know. So I think they're fine. I think it's gonna be. I think it'll be fine between the two of them. I don't think there's gonna be any kidnapping or something like that. But you guys are mean. They're mean. They're mean at chat. The chat room is like.
There's not gonna be.
Come on, folks. I think she's changed. You guys are all this mean, jaded. It's turning into a bunch of Frank Morans. What's going on there?
I mean, the only way I could see this turning acrimonious is if all of a sudden Maxie went off, skidded off the rails and was doing something terrible.
Right.
Where Brooklyn felt like, oh wait, Bailey's, possibly being harmed. I've got to do something. But other than that, Brooklyn's not going to just be like, no, I'm going to kidnap her because I love her so much.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think that's the storyline. So, and it's just still her feelings for Chase because, like Ned said, what's next? Which is kind of for the audience. Like for the audience, kind of like we're like, what is next?
Please just get into this already. Good Lord, just get into it.
Yeah, get into it all right.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, like us. We have 50 people watching and 22 likes. Thank you, Shonda. Like us, please. You probably don't agree with us anyway, but that's fine. I'll take all the likes I can get. Whatever you give me. Oh, now we got 24. Okay, good. Thank you, 21. I'll take whatever we can get. But I know a lot of you guys probably like, I'm gonna like these two people. Screw them. Sure. Fine. It's almost 2 hours, so I'm ending the show now. I can't talk more about the show. That's it, kids. They're all such a big word, Frank. Yeah, Frank knows some big words. He went to school.
He am smart.
Yeah. He am smart. Exactly. It's okay. Sunday. It's Sunday. Frank is on. And I have my weekly request. Oh, that's what. Okay, that's what I have to do. Thanks for reminding me. I have to find the music that they use. That's right. From GH Report. Okay.
Can I go back? Guys. I don't know if I can go back, guys.
That's it. I'm gonna try to see if I can find it. Thank you, Dolores, for reminding me. Frank. Okay, yes. So you reminded me. I went to look last week, but life happened. I didn't look. But now I wrote it down. That we'll see if I can get that. If we can do that, so I can find it. Like, oh, I love it. That's so funny. Oh my God. Thank you, everybody, for watching. 61 people in there. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Frank, where can they find you?
I mean, Twitter and Instagram at Happy Go Jackie. Talking hot soap takes.
And this Wednesday, we're back. The Book Boba Fett, pre-Book Boba Fett. Actually, I saw something that I tagged you in. We're going to discuss it on air, too, about a trailer that came out. We're going to discuss that also. Wednesday night, 8 p.m., me, him, and John Dunphy are going to talk about it. And that's going to be on JLG Media, of course. I'm James Lott Jr. You can follow me all James Lott Jr. is sold at James Lott Jr. on social media platforms and on Twitter and TikTok. And we'll see you next time, you guys. Thank you.